Good evening. Hello, everyone. It is your girl, the Black Wealth Empress, and I got the Crown Prince over here. This is FMJ coming to you from the DMV, and if you are new to the channel, DMV stands for DC, Maryland, and Virginia, not where you go to get your license at. Anyway, this week's topic we've decided upon is we want to spotlight some of you internet famous people, some of you influencers, some of those YouTube or internet celebrities, if you will. Oh boy, would you like to kick us off?
Well, definitely. There's quite an array of internet personalities. You got anything from your basic gossip columnist, rap star journalist, till man-hating, eating divested zealots with interesting thumbnails for their avatar. We'll introduce all of these concepts as we go on.
Yeah, I definitely want to make a couple comments. So, first of all, the internet is a beautiful place. It can be such a beautiful growth market for you if you know what you're doing, if you got a plan, if you have a niche, if you do a little bit of research. Anybody really could make money online. It's not the unicorn people make it seem like it is. You can go anywhere in this day and age and see somebody with their ring light and their phone performing some sort of ritualistic dance they learned on TikTok or Instagram. And their numbers are flying up. And for those of you who don't know, TikTok and Instagram, they do pay you. You have to be living under a rock if you don't know that.
Where else on earth can you be whatever you want to be for the masses?
Exactly.
This is an interesting concept. You know, I've seen it be developed and perfected over the last couple of years, and it's proven to be very lucrative. So we've delved into a few of the personalities. We're not really going to name too many names, but you'll see a common denominator when it comes to these folk.
Yeah, you really can turn on your YouTube and find anyone. Like, there, I will give it this. There's a lot of YouTube channels, more than not, that are structured, that give you some form of value and maybe help even increase your level of competence. They even teach you how to adult online. You need to fix your car, there's a channel for that. There's no niche that is sacred that you can't touch on YouTube. However, there are those clout chasers, if you will, and also trolls. It seems like it's been a very big platform for people who are self-deprecating at their core to be able to speak to the masses, rope in a tribe of some kind, and build their platform on hate, on division, and even just on bullying in general.
Yeah, until the obvious is pointed out. Like, we recently caught an episode of Fresh and Fit where these are academics made a complete donkey of himself, if you will. He always end up arguing with some broads on the panel of Fresh and Fit, and then screaming at the top of his lungs saying, "Big Ack is here now," which is hilarious because
Actually, I think we're going to insert a clip here for you guys to see.
Rashid, Brandon Carter. I've seen you on episodes before. That's my guy right there. Y'all been good though? Oh, y'all with me? Yeah, straight?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're really good.
That's
Yeah, we really good.
We
You got a
good.
small dick or what?
With this shrimp
Yo,
dick
are you
here.
Japanese? I'm being racist right now. You got a small dick because you Asian. Yo, nigga. Wait. Suck my dick. I got a bigger dick than you, man.
Yo, shut the fuck up with your masculine ass voice and read the chats, yo. Get the fuck up out of here.
hold on. Wait, that was you. Wait,
What it is?
do you think your voice sound a little bit masculine or no?
Just a strong woman, and that's what it is.
Oh, you say you just a strong, like you sound
strong.
Well, I'm gonna keep it on. You sound a little bit like Dusty Locane though. Like that's like.
What the fuck?
No, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like,
Yeah, I'm speaking another language. Yo puedo hablar español contigo si quiere.
oh, okay.
It's
No.
completely different.
I'm only bringing that up because I think on this podcast they expect women to be a little bit
More feminine?
Be in their feminine energy type shit. You want to be in feminine energy?
You got a shrimp dick act.
Nah, she said
No,
about
with the
you.
shrimp dicks. I don't be. If you're rude, I will not be nice to you.
No.
If you're cool, I'll be nice to you. You know?
You feel
Please, girls like that. Like you
Okay,
just
you're not
lick
answering the
it,
question.
or you.
And
What's
they
your
curl
ideal
in.
size over here?
5'6".
what?
No.
No.
Big size.
I'm answering the dick size.
5 or 6 inches?
Yeah, but even if you have a little dick, if you know how to work that, is gonna. Some female would be good with it. You just gotta know how work that thing.
Okay.
You just gotta
Work
do
that
not
thing.
come so fast. That's what matters for women.
No, work it.
If you come too fast, that'll make women frustrated. Like if you have a okay dick and you still can't fuck.
Yo, I ain't even trying to get too TMI. When you fucking a nigga sucking his dick, real rap, is your voice that fucking deep, or at least you got like the we're fucking voice?
Why?
Okay, when Act makes very graphic descriptions of her bedroom escapades, me and you've talked before about men saying certain things about what women do with other men. Obviously, something's not right if he's giving those graphic details and then don't even know how to land the plane. So how you gonna be sounding? All right.
I also think it's very interesting in general when addressing a female that you're saying you think is masculine or like a nigga, for you to be saying these descriptive things about what they're doing in the bedroom as if you're trying to figure out where you fit in. That seems weird to me from the outside.
Yeah, and he did spend a lot of time on this girl.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe he had some subconscious attraction to her or something.
Definitely, but didn't want to be the guy in the room attracted to the female with a more
The questionable
voice, right?
You want me to make a little bit of noise?
No, I'm just saying. If I heard Pop Smoke talking from heaven while I'm stroking, I'm soft. Real rap.
But you have to lose some weight until you can see your dick, nigga.
She got that.
Obviously, when Act commented here, that's a good one. He was totally embarrassed, and her comment just totally discombobulated the guy. Obviously, he could dish it out, but can't take it.
Yeah, because it seemed like when that particular moment was the only one that made him fold. Like he goes from being the bully to the bullied very quickly.
Yeah, and was on his heels ever since.
So you're saying, wait. So you're saying that if I lose some weight and I become your broke ass bitch ass boyfriend, right? Shit. No. Huh? And I start fucking with a masculine bitch like you with fake titties, right? With a fucking tattoo on your face.
Yeah, nigga.
Masculine as shit.
Yes.
How are you gonna be sounding?
How I'm gonna be sounding?
Obviously, it wasn't lost in translation here. Obviously, she's of Hispanic descent. But how you gonna be sounding to me? You can see him getting caught up and stumbling over his words. He don't know what he want to say at this point. She scrambled his brain.
Clearly, because he started off by saying like, "How would you sound if I was smashing?" Or you know what I'm saying, whatever. And then he's like, "So if I did all this, now how would you sound?" And it's like, okay, at this point, there is no interaction. Why would you even say that? At this point, you're supposed to be insulting me. You insulting me or you want me? Pick a place. Pick a place, please.
He's all over the place.
Like you said, disgruntled.
Act has been brought to heel.
What the fuck? Or it's different, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, bitches like fat niggas like you, so what's the problem?
Bitches love rich niggas like me.
Rich?
I bet your boyfriend ain't
and
rich like
what's
me.
the matter?
I bet your boyfriend ain't rich like me.
But he can't fuck me better than you would, so.
But I bet you live in a fucking Section 8 housing, and I live in a fucking mansion with
And what is the difference?
Again, whenever pressed to corner, particular individuals always resort to the financial conversation, and that is obviously a sense of inadequacy. If every comeback you give is related to your fiscal position, I would dare to say you don't have much else to stand on. And we'll see it here in a minute.
You still unhappy. If you wasn't unhappy, you wasn't being aggressive and being rude.
I might get a bit of my. Y'all turn my shit up. I love this. You
unhappy, baby. Like you got to stop like be acting like weird because you're just unhappy.
No,
it's not my problem if you unhappy. Like I'm very happy with my life.
Why do you think I'm unhappy?
Why do you think I'm unhappy? Now, I've seen loads of videos on this particular subject and acts disgruntled behavior, but I haven't seen anybody mention the fact that he questioned the questionable male transvestite stripper. Pardon me. I mean, in his mind.
Yeah, in his mind.
To ask, why do you think I'm unhappy?
Right.
And pardon me, if I'm this rich millionaire gallivanting around the East and West Coast and traveling abroad and abreast, I wouldn't be asking somebody else why they think I'm unhappy unless I'm unhappy.
Exactly. Seems like she might have hit the nail on the head. That's why I was like, that was the one moment he calmed down. Why do you think I'm unhappy?
The nail in the coffin.
Because you do it now, like being weird.
No. I'm asking you a question. You sound like hold on. Relax, Shirley. Your man ain't here, and he couldn't afford to get in this building. Okay, let me tell you this.
Disrespectful.
I'm asking you. Who said disrespectful?
It's man disrespectful, boy. You been disrespectful.
Stop playing. Stop. Yo, my nigga done fuck you, nigga, like in the Airbnb. Get the fuck on out.
Actually, you should know enough to know he's fucking cat.
Shorty, stop playing. Stop playing. Get over here. Stop playing.
You just like to disrespect a woman like that.
Obviously a beta move. You over here talking about what your mans did the other day and that you rented the Airbnb and this and that. I'm trying to figure out where that came from. If you're engaging with this female over here and then you choose to automatically, you were on complete defense mode because the girl didn't say anything, but that was disrespectful. And then you want to spill the beans, kiss and tell, if you will. Come on now.
Not only that, but what if that put his man in a questionable predicament?
That's what I'm thinking. But at this point, he didn't care.
Because he's all in his feelings.
Right. All systems go over here.
Talking facts, nigga. I'm talking facts, nigga.
Just lame niggas.
I'm talking facts, nigga.
You not, nigga.
Let somebody say something. I'm talking facts, nigga.
Happy, nigga. You want happy?
Nigga, my boy fucked you in the Airbnb that I rented, nigga. That I paid, nigga. That I paid the whole money. Don't come over here talking that shit. All that cap you been doing on all motherfucking Fresh and Fit. Big Ack is here now.
Oh yeah.
How the facts want to say, oh yes.
Big Ack is here now.
Nigga, fuck the shit up. Yo, the nigga gave you a fucking rose, bitch, and he fucked the shit out of you. That's facts. And say somebody. Say somebody. That's why you off camera. Facts. That's why you're on camera. Get on camera. We can talk about it. Get on camera. We talk about it. I'll FaceTime my nigga right now. So we can FaceTime that. Yo, nigga say you had the loosest pussy he fucked in 10 years, nigga. Get on camera and talk about it. Thought so. Won't talk about it. Okay. Is he coming back? I don't think so. Where my phone at?
All right, Fresh. Fresh.
Exactly.
Okay, so
hold on. We not done. This nigga ain't kicking. We not done.
That nigga want to turn it off.
We not done. Stinko, you saw you on the show? Learn from Big Act.
Yeah, I could see your pubes through your panties right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like the light showing. I don't know how you fit on a plane with that BBL and your boobs are bumping into the mic, but I legitimately know, like, not even trying to roast you. Like, I could see your whole bush through your panties.
Yo, Sneeko, take no disrespect.
Okay, Sneeko, I don't know why this guy's so relevant in these conversations, because he's obviously a 13-year-old boy with his comments here. I'm like, it's so uncomfortable to watch him try to impress Act when Act is clearly off the rails. A train wreck.
Even still, just even those slight comments, like, you could literally, you had all this time where you could have easily thought of something better to say. I can see your pubes.
He wasn't expecting Act to pass him the mic. It felt like this was a freestyle. He just had to jump in there.
This is not a cipher, bro.
I can't. Like right now, I can see.
Real shit. What the fuck's going on right now?
Okay. We're gonna end this show. No.
Nigga, something weird, bro.
I'm just saying, like, it's very visible. It's like in front of my face.
Stop it.
Obviously, Fresh has absolutely no control of the panel. Respectfully.
Yo, we don't take no disrespect lightly here, period. That shorty got up on her. Matter of fact, the moment she saw my face, she was trying to get off camera.
Yeah.
Facts. Look it up.
Where?
Look it up. Obviously, this is what I meant when I said that Act don't know what to say at this point. Look it up. I can see if she questioned, like she does later, about who he is and what he's done. You could look that up. But obviously, you can't Google whether your man smashed last night.
That's wild.
Yeah, that means he's just spitting out venom to anybody in his reach.
I'm trying to figure out why he has hostility towards his bride. Anyway, all she said was what you said was mad disrespectful. Because she smashed her dude like she has no bearing here. She was on the show before you got there, first of all. Like, what?
It's my opinion that he really disrespected the show.
Yeah.
You know, it was like he young boyed the show. Like, he's gonna make a comment about Myron coming up here about, you know, you might be a lot of him, but not to me. Like, you saying a bunch of reckless stuff on the platform, and it obviously went out of control. And Fresh had a hard time reining it in.
Poor baby.
He's already called for the show to end several times.
That was like, I don't even know how many times he asked for it, like 2 or 3 at least.
And Mike Rashid can't stand much more of this.
Yeah, he gets up to leave because he's hungry.
That's right. Famished.
Nigga, you know why? She been knew the fucking case. Sneeko mentioned it. Bitch, Silky was on your fucking guts. That's fact. You won't get back on here and talk about it. Because I'll expose that shit. Don't come on here talking all that bullshit. Y'all can lie to Myron. This big act in the building, nigga. Anybody got something to say? Hold on. Anybody got something to say? Yo, cut that bitch, Mike. Anybody got something to say? Shorty.
That's bullshit.
Shorty. Realize where you at. Nigga,
I never heard about you. I'm sorry.
Bitch, we never heard about you.
Yeah.
I know you are, but what am I?
You a masculine looking bitch with a face tat, nigga, and some fake titties, my nigga. We think you're a nigga.
Ew.
To keep it real, we need a DNA test, bitch.
Some real shit. What's going on right now? What is niggas doing right now?
Yeah.
What's the point of this shit?
Why is the LGBT community to cancel this nigga?
Chris.
Why is the LGBT community to cancel
Y'all
him
niggas off the chain right now. This shit is damn ridiculous.
What's up,
The LGBTQ community will only jump in if you admit you a nigga. Are you a nigga or are you a girl? If you a nigga, they'll hop in.
They will hop in because you're talking about them. You're talking about trans women. That is.
I think you a nigga. I ain't saying nothing wrong with it. I just say I think you a nigga.
All right, Fresh.
You're talking about transgender women.
Man, get the fuck out of here. Don't ever mention.
Indeed. And beautiful bean footage. And then he was so out of sorts that even after this embarrassing episode, it carried on to the lobby of the Panorama or whatever. The building that Fresh and Fit inhabit. And he lost control of his harem. Seems like he was flailing all over the place, short and stocky, but couldn't get his girls under control. And his help wasn't much help at all.
Oh my God, the way they came strolling in so slow. Like, if you're going to have an entourage, at least have a productive one.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably have access to unlimited booze and whatever recreational shit they do. But at least be on your P's and Q's. That lets me know if a nigga out here trying to scrap me, your ass go zombie to me. You come in as a zombie?
Yeah.
Thanks for your assistance.
And it's difficult to manage two women when you got a designer bag in one hand, trying to stave off an attack by an assailant with the other hand. It was almost hilarious.
It's depressing is the word I would choose.
But as you can see in the clips, every time the woman challenged academics, his every comeback was about finances. And,
money.
yeah, and we have this thing about Revenge of the Nerds, where a lot of people that were shoehorned into getting a good education and completing their degree end up the ones making a lot of money at this point, and they're rewriting the rules. And every once in a while, it seeps from their pores.
You can see that their core never really changes. Who they are, that wounded child or teenage, whoever it was that got injured, they never really coped with that. And their only coping mechanism was to get to the top of their tier so that they could rain down hellfire on anybody and everybody who fits the demographic of those people who damaged that being.
And they have a long-standing hate for this Pookie and Ray Ray character.
Yo.
I don't know if his first name is Pookie and last name is Ray Ray, but they have a long-standing enmity for these people. And they want to throw the book at them. If these guys so much as thin a tin of baked beans, they want them to do life in prison without parole to take their place as a tether.
And that is a whole nother topic that we're definitely going to get into next week, because we want to make sure our stance is very clear when we get started, so you guys know if you're not interested, this channel might not be for you, but we're going to be very open and honest about who we are, what we represent, and what we're here to do. And a part of that is pointing out the misconceptions, and we're just hoping that maybe we can have a little ripple effect on keeping people from getting too brainwashed by the internet. I need you guys to remember that these people living in the little screen on your hand are living avatar lives. Yes, they may have money. However, everything that they show you is not everything that is. It is never peaches and cream everywhere. It just grass and green. Come on. We got to be realistic.
And I recommend a book for native blacks, native whites, immigrant blacks. It's called A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. Its story takes place starting in 1492 with Columbus's voyage
I'll
to the
link
New
the
World.
book down below if you guys want to take a look at it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that maybe if our immigrant brothers and sisters had a more complete, comprehensive understanding of the history here from day one, they might understand alternative perspectives.
As well as a lot of people who live inside of these little bubbles, apparently, that the rest of the world doesn't exist in when they're on these channels. Because half of the time, the topics are all the same. I mean, granted, that's a very specific demographic on YouTube and on the internet. However, they're constantly doing the division speak, the hate speak, like, oh, who's better than who? Do we need these people? Is this beneficial to our relationships? But never really giving any proper solutions. It always seems like there's two sides yelling at each other. And because it's controversial, it brings in a lot of views, rakes in the money, and this is how these people stay rich and continue to perpetuate their avatar lives to you. And it's not saying that you can't have your favorite YouTuber. That's cool. However, I do want you to keep looking with your open eyes, your third eye, if you will.
And we have this thing that we refer to as nouveau riche, which roughly translates into new rich or new boule or bourgeoisie, if you please. And that's another form of elitism translated from tribalism from our motherland brothers and sisters brought to the continental United States. There's always so much division pointed out, and criticisms about the black community in XYZ when omitting to acknowledge the history and current goings on in their native homelands.
Oh, absolutely.
They get a couple of dollars for getting an IT degree and forget where they came from. Porridge and Joloft.
They came with the poor shirt on their pullback.
Not their board to the shirt or their pullbacks. Which is why when they come into a little money here, they want to push classism. There's no such thing as racism, there's only classism. Yeah, well, we have a more clear understanding of our recent history here, and we just aren't prepared yet to sweep it under the rug. These people have no connection to our history. In fact, the only connection they have to our history is the bill of sale, shipping us through the transatlantic slave trade, up through South America and the Caribbean, in the comfortable hull of Christopher Columbo's ship. Thanks a lot, Homeland. We appreciate it.
But that's really more into our tether talk. We're going to have to explain to you what a tether is, because a lot of people like to feign ignorance on it. But we'll get into the FBA situation and all that, who we affiliate with. I do want you guys to have a clear view of that. I don't want you to think that we're just trying to be a certain type of way. It's a lot to it, and we're going to have to break it down in multiple videos. Yeah. But you will hear the term a lot, so I feel like that's something we're going to get out the way early so that you guys can understand what we mean when we say these things. Like I said, those who get it will get it. Those who don't, I don't know what to tell you.
And make no mistake, every immigrant isn't a tether, but every tether is an immigrant. You do the math.
But I want to get back to people utilizing that platform for their personal gains, like he was saying about the Revenge of the Nerds. That it seems like the internet is just another version of high school, and everybody has their own cliques, and people seem to group together. That's why you have the Fresh and Fit academics connection in the first place, because of the fact that they resonate with each other with their cores. It's not just who they are now. They see each other as equals, or somebody's a hangers-on. Yeah. Because we noticed that, I mean, just like rock bands have groupies, YouTubers have hangers-ons.
Yeah, we noticed through Fresh and Fit's production and their ascent of success. Shout out to Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys did it the right way.
We noticed in the backstage when the castle cam is on, they went from 1 or 2 people in the production area to at least 15. And we like to refer to these people as hangers-on.
That's your little entourage.
Right.
The ones who walk slow to you when you need help.
Yeah, and adjust your mic when you need adjust.
My other thing, going back to the dynamics of academic and this young lady that he was arguing with, I did notice also when they were having their particular altercation, that he didn't get offended until she brought up his weight. And that's what I'm talking about when I mentioned the core of a person, that injured person. I'm sure he's always gotten picked on about his size once he started increasing his size. We saw a picture of him small, and it's crazy because he don't even look right now. I'm so used to seeing the chipmunk cheeks. I don't know who that person was you showed me.
Yeah, we'll insert picture here. You're right. Yeah, academics was quite the character that night, and you can tell he was embarrassed. And most people who have a go-to insult that they're used to getting has a go-to comeback.
No go-to rebuttal, yeah.
Right. And I forgot. I know he mentioned to Fresh that it was a good one, but he reverted to his money.
Yes, his status.
Right, let me hide behind my money.
He immediately said, so if I was like your broke-ass boyfriend, your broke-ass bitch-ass boyfriend. And notice that none of these people have rap sheets of being in any type of aggressive situations or altercations where they have merit for the type of boisterous, I don't even know what demeanors that they're giving off as if they were going to do something for real.
Lashing out.
Yes. What did somebody said? Selling wolf tickets.
Yeah.
Yes. That's when you use that.
Yeah. and Livingston Allen of Jamaican descent. You see, these gentlemen, when developing a YouTube presence, must develop a magnetic personality. Because as you can see, you have a few channels that start off with a few members, and then when they splinter off into their own channels, it doesn't have the same allure. Some people are designed to be supporting characters, and some people are the main event, and I think it's clear.
Oh yes, it is definitely made clear when they separate.
Yes.
Because you could see on certain channels where a person would get a page separate from, it'll be part of the network, but they're separate, and their page they'll gross like 1,000 followers in a night, and then they'll have their following like it'll double in like a week's time, and then there will be people who struggle to get to their 1,000. It takes them a month or two. And you can tell those are the people that are going to be they're not hangers on. They're obviously adding some benefit somewhere. They gave enough value to somebody that they believe that they deserve the show of their own. I don't know whether that was in the background or whatever it was that they were doing. However, not everybody is the lead. Some people, like you said, need supporting cast.
It's a shameful money grab.
Oh really? Oh, it really is. But they're like, if they're gonna collect them coins, they're gonna get them everywhere.
But then sometimes there's a discrepancy in the numbers. Contradiction in the math, if you will. We were checking out the podcast. We're in Miami. You could say competition for Fresh and Fit. You could say imitation of Fresh and Fit. But we noticed that these gentlemen grew mighty fast from a low 5-figure number to almost in a matter of a couple of months to 500,000. But then we examined their views. And in a lot of cases, some people can come past your videos and you may have one home run and they might click the subscribe, maybe even the bell. But when you get to looking at their numbers and they're like 6 months, a video been up with 15,000 views with 500,000 subscriber count, you start to wonder, how is this thing possible?
And that's the one benefit I will say again of the internet, because even if your views aren't super massive, not matching your following, you still get enough money so you can keep stunting. It's like you can just keep the ball rolling. So long as you got the money coming in, you could just spend all day producing. Spend all day making sure your set got lights on the rubber tree in the back. Like, that's just, you got time to make this shit happen because you're still getting the views. I noticed that their reels are the one things that be popping. Their reels on YouTube pop a lot.
And that baits the viewers in.
Absolutely. You only need 60 seconds of fun.
If you have any type of charisma whatsoever.
Oh yeah, that too. That counts.
Yeah, because I've seen some dry personalities.
Now listen, matter of fact, it's just like that shit where we was talking about movies, showing the previews, and the previews is all of the action in the movie, and you're thinking the movie's going to be action packed.
Right, all the best scenes.
That's what it is.
Right.
So they get it, and then they get there, and they're like,
right. And they just ain't go through the trouble of unsubscribing yet.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I have over 100 subscriptions, and I only watch 3.
Yeah,
so that's to let you know how easy it is to get numbers.
When I'm scrolling functions on my phone and trying to operate another application, trying to text or something like that, and one of the channels that I don't particularly watch anymore pops down and gets in my way and makes me select it, you are out of here. I'll see you next time you come up with it.
Now you're unsubscribed.
Right.
But it's inconvenient to do, but if it inconveniences you, you'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I get it out the way, get out of here.
It's payback.
Yeah.
Just like this. I'm all for people making their money on YouTube, AdSense and all that. But You got some panhandlers, transients, indigents, who beg at least 15% of their video for super chats, cash apps, and whatever in that fuck. So I look at these channels as an issue. You can always tell by their number of ads they have each time you click out and click back in. These are money grubbing Scrooges. That's another thing, the whole pay to get people kicked off and back on. Like,
where are these individuals just sitting around on money doing nothing?
Where's the shame?
They don't have any.
You know, they say,
even the ones who get kicked off and come back on, they have none.
You know, they say shameless plug.
Yeah.
Like, you got people paying to kick off and come back on. Like, everything doesn't have to be capitalism at its finest, at its core.
They act like they never seen a dollar in their life. That's what that is.
The master of industry. Snatch up every red cent.
Some people turn into Midas. It literally is all it is. And then they get too big for their britches.
And most of them come from next to nothing. So, you know, I'm all for progressing in life and being able to do more than you were able to travel coast to coast abroad. But when you make it obvious, and that's all you talk about, is that it's obvious that you are nouveau rich again.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, you'll fall into your groove and be natural with it. But until then, it's all about money making on YouTube.
Absolutely. Like you said, capitalism is the name of the game. But everybody wants to be that. Like, they see the shit, they want to replicate the shit. I get the not wanting to have to work the rest of your life and having a nice nest egg for when you get older for retirement. However, like you said, it's the over and beyond. Like, I gotta have the private jet to Dubai. I gotta get the skyscraper hotel. Like, one thing for content, another thing when you just want to have something to say. Oh yeah, I'm rich. I got money. I'm this. I'm that. I'm what is it? King of Zamunda.
Selling a lifestyle.
Yeah, and that's like literally what you become. And then it's like, but again, you never address your actual core. It's cute. You know, I'm glad that you're welcome to the table. However, we have etiquette here.
Yeah.
When the rich people do not run around screaming about being rich.
And we talked about it all the time, like trips across country to different states and XYZ. Most people that just come into money, they think you're supposed to always travel abroad or far or tropical, Caribbean, something.
You got to be doing something with that money
It's so much in continental United States that they overlook, especially if you're from another land.
Yeah.
Even going downtown D.C., the Smithsonian Museum,
you can always find something new in the city.
Native American,
always
Holocaust Museum, Air and Space, everything. Natural History
right
Museum.
Over the bridge because we're right here.
And not to mention all the historical sites of the Revolutionary War and Civil Wars.
What
So we got
the extra the hoarding, and then I'm like, and then none of them really. They talk about like how much money they have and how they're always helping the community or putting people on or whatever, but like, are you teaching these people anything about what to do with their money, or you just showboat and then they just follow suit?
all that remains to be seen.
So like, if you, I just be like, I mean, you can't preach black community and like, oh, I'm beneficial if you're not really doing shit. And I'm like, you really feel like you're high horse that you put yourself on.
But it's easy. I mean, if your job is to be a professional arguer, you're naturally going to get more and more proficient. And in so doing, add a few generous gestures that you perform. Yeah, I go down to the local YMCA every Sunday, and I mentor the boys and girls there.
Something.
When did you?
Right. Where are the receipts?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I need the login sheet.
Vlog from there.
I ain't never see him doing that.
Right. You vlog, you get pressed out by the drunk white man in the Boston street somewhere.
And again, we don't have any animosity towards these individuals. They've done a great incredible job. Kudos for utilizing the platform and building their businesses up. You know, I wish nothing but the best and prosperity to these people. We're just making keen observations because we are literally outsiders looking in, and we're just, again, hoping everyone else has an open mind and doesn't take this stuff as law, because it's still the internet.
We're saying don't forget yourself.
Yeah, just be aware.
Yeah, you know, some of us just came into some blessings, and as you can see, they're snatching it from people left and right. Oh, you said what? And not to mention the vested seller. How is she getting away with this thing?
That's the other thing too. YouTube is very picky. I don't know if they have just random group of people searching through videos to see what is and isn't supposed to be messed with, but I have noticed that they mess with a lot of target people who really do just be about their money. Half of them don't have podcasts. They have actual channels. And they be getting barred, kicked, and all kinds of stuff, blacked out, can't access the platform and make their money.
Shadow ban.
Yeah, shadow ban. But then there's these people having these types of conversations that are damn near, I don't know if it's okay to say on YouTube or not, but the old German war symbol, we'll just say that they have some views that seem that way. They're saying certain things like unaliving babies, and I don't even know how they're getting away with not getting any type of flags. Shows go on all the time, and then the one person gets one flag, she crying on the internet like she wasn't talking about murr. Yeah. She was talking about murking. Let's say that. And we say murking, folks, because that's what she was talking about.
Yes, she got X'd out.
Then he says sweet tears.
Yeah.
Sorry, some people deserve to cry.
Yeah, it was worth every penny. And now she gets to see her significant other, and they can reflect each other. Truly. Without the assistance of the whole power structure, which is Google.
It's a lot of misinformation being given. It's a lot, like I said, of conversations of division. And
listen, these women hate black men. And don't get me wrong, I understand the context. The context is they may have had very few male members of their families growing up. Maybe one or two here and there, uncle, XYZ. And according to their narrative, sometimes, unfortunately, they had a run-in with a family member growing up. And then they want to spotlight and focus and throw a number out there like X amount of percent of women have suffered as a victim within a family in XYZ, which is also remains to be seen, because it could be lower or higher, because I'm quite sure that everybody that mentioned that something when it comes to that.
I like how they just completely omit other statistics. That's what gets me. I'm like, you can't be like this large number of black women, but then don't mention any other statistic about
functional, progressive, upper middle class families that hard working XYZ. They never mention any of that. They mention like it's all
they're generalizing.
Threat. But then they get away with saying so much. And then most of it is wrong.
No.
Like
a bunch of theories.
I study history, and according to history, there's so many contradictions in things they talk about. They talk about the lack of rebellions during the darkest period of our history, slavery and Jim Crow, Reconstruction, apartheid. They speak of no resistance, which is far from the truth. Every conflict, large or small, and everything in between this country's ever known, black men have been a part of. So they sitting on the sideline pointing like, yeah, go out there, do it. Where they want your demise anyway would be foolish.
Very. And that's the thing too. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's foolish. I'm like that's the other side of that, being that these women don't fully take in the spectrum of the fact that they're the cause to their own problems. One, but two, half the stuff that you're saying and you're wanting them to do doesn't make sense, because if they go through with it and they fail, you're left defenseless. Even now, with you pushing the narrative that you're pushing, without them, you are defenseless. Just like the sweet tears. I'm sure at that moment, she wishes there was somebody in the community who would stand up for her.
A white knight.
Oh yeah, there's none. They don't. First of all, they hear what you're saying and they're like, "That's disgusting." Even if they despise the black man.
That's almost the funniest part. They think that if we are done away with, that they'll just be welcomed into the beds and bosoms of whoever.
Of the other side.
Which, in my estimation, is a little bit off. But what do I know? It's just so embarrassing to watch this thing. And they're saying it in a public forum, which is the internet eternal. A permanent scarlet letter with your name and face attached. Forever. We watch some of these historical shows and stuff. What happens when there's ever an adjustment in the regime and you get caught on the wrong side with videotaped evidence?
Yeah. Because you never know when the day is going to come or what's going to come. But that's why I was like, that's what we talk about. That's the whole purpose of FMJ, because that's the real deal that you're going to get later, is the whole defense side, because everyone's so comfortable in their first world. They're so used to their power being on and their guns at their ready. And
I mean, you want to be a
they just think,
survivalist.
yeah,
you want to be
like,
able to start a campfire from scratch if need be. You want to know how to hunt and field dress game in case you do have to live off the grid or in the wilderness for any amount of time. You want to be able to protect your own properties. These are skills. Like, there's so many people, we were just talking about this, that feel like at the point of sale, when purchasing a firearm, that the battle is won.
Yeah, that they're protected.
Right. No, there's maintenance, training, proficiency, technique. Like, not to mention, nobody can simulate
the situation.
Real world.
Right.
Yeah.
And your fight or flight, nothing.
So, it's more true than that. That's where the battle begins.
Right.
At the counter store, at your local gun store.
Preparing yourself, because there's just, it does, just like the other night when you were showing me the Fresh and Fit, there was that girl who was saying she would rather date a man who's armed. She doesn't want to date a man who doesn't carry a firearm, because she's like, you bring in a knife to a gunfight. Yeah, I get it, but again, proficiency. It doesn't matter whether he's armed or not. If the person busting at you has already done this at least 6 or 7 times, maybe more than that, depending on where you at.
Wild Earp.
You said
Wild Western lawman. He wasn't that fast on the draw, and he only killed a couple of men. But his name went down in history is because he had the nerve to aim and shoot. Take your time. It's not about having it in the speed. Like, being proficient is most key. It's your reflexes. It should be a natural range of motion.
I'm like, and even if you put yourself in a situation like, go paintball it. You know what I'm saying? Go put yourself in a dynamic where you have to duck and cover, run, keep your wits about you while you're engaged in combat. Do something like it. You know what I'm saying?
The worst part about the whole thing is they make it out like there's this purge supposed to happen. That's a ridiculous concept. Your average upstanding taxpaying citizen of black men are not plotting black women's demise.
Actually, they're too busy trying to survive to be thinking about killing you off.
What would be the point? Isn't that killing yourself? Essentially, eventually.
The fact that people talk like, okay, some people have education. All right, there's a difference between being ignorant and being dumb. We can agree to that, right? That there's a difference between ignorance and being dumb, like being stupid.
Ignorance is just unawares.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who they're being dumb, especially because if they say that they have the education that they have, the type of shit they're talking about has to be staged. It has to absolutely be the character you're portraying to make your coin. I believe it doesn't matter because of the effect you're having on the society that you're talking to. But I in my heart, I just don't want to believe that this shit is real.
As an intellect myself, I've already determined that the level of education that they proclaim is either irrelevant or just flat out not true.
I'm leaning towards the latter
because you don't have anything to show for this so-called intelligence.
And then the way the conversations carry on, I'm like even the way that you guys speak is improper.
Look,
it's uneducated.
She's just as smart enough, glass ceiling, to be smarter than the 200 and some odd subscribers she got.
When we mentioned the glass ceiling, my uncle made an observation that obviously there's people out there who really believe that they are of the highest intellect and that everyone has to be below them. Like there's no one else on their level or even higher for that matter. So
because they're limited to their own
perception of understanding for themselves. Like it's literally again back to the whole awareness thing, social awareness.
Yeah, we've seen this in action.
Mental aptitude.
We watched countless police interrogation videos and things like that will spotlight too. And it's obvious when the suspect criminal thinks that they can outsmart the police because they're limited on their IQ. Some of these stories are obviously the case. You'll see. There's one in specific I want to show you with the guy from Haiti, JB. But we'll get back with you on that.
But shout out to all the Comeuppers and all the Hangersons. Alright, y'all. That's FMJ. We're gonna call it a night.
Alright, y'all.